Hello, welcome to the porch. So I came across this article. It wasn't really an article, but it was a forum post on Reddit, and I thought it was so funny. Basically, it's just insults that Americans have heard throughout the years by different foreigners, so just from all over. And they're insults, but like not really. They weren't, I don't know, I guess it didn't hit home. Some of them are even kind of funny, so I thought I would share with you guys. So the first one is basically, I once had a European guy tell me that average Americans can't be athletic at all because of the food we eat. Turned out I was a much better athlete than him in basically every aspect, and it really pissed him off. So I think you would think that, because like our food is a lot heavier. Our food is so much heavier. Not to mention it, like our fruits and vegetables aren't really the freshest. To get, I guess, the best of fruits and veggies, you definitely have to go to certain stores. Like there's certain stores that like we know just not to even hit up for certain vegetables or certain fruits, just because it's lower quality. I don't know why that is. I did see much just better fruit and veggies in Germany. UK, kind of I don't know, but you know, you would think that just like with our diet, we wouldn't have, you know, some of the most athletic people. But someone said, this is the stupidest thing I heard, we pay millions of dollars to people to tackle each other and run like a leopard across the field. Marshawn Lynch, kill him. And then, you know, basically, you know, yeah, like we do have these people who are very large, okay, like a linebacker in American football, and they are actually kind of graceful and nimble, and you would not think with that much like weight they would be, but they actually kind of are. But yeah, it definitely is a huge change in, I guess, the body type, comparing, you know, an American football player to, like, let's say, you know, an actual football player in Europe or something. Like those are, you have like a lean muscular body to like, some of these people look like sofas, like a recliner, like they're huge. It is what it is. I don't know what to say about that one. So the next one is the word yank or Yankee. The Brits seem to think we actually care, but we really don't. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that one. For me, I think of like Civil War terms. So a Yank being someone from the North versus all the Southerners. That's where my head goes. I've never heard or overheard of, you know, a British person calling an American a Yankee, but that is interesting to think. And then someone said, I vaguely remember one poster on here who took it a step further and seemed to think Yankee Doodles was a remotely effective insult. So Yankee Doodle, you guys all know that song, Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. So basically, if someone said it's not 1776 anymore, shut up. But you know, when that song was like written, it actually had a different, you know, meaning. It had a different term. Like it was actually an insult, but not anymore. So the term doodle is an English word, okay? So basically it was, I guess, created in the early 17th century. It's derived from Low German, meaning doodle, meaning to play music badly, or dodel, meaning fool. I butchered that. Or simpleton. So the macaroni wig was an extreme fashion in the 1770s, and it became slang for being a fop. Don't ask me what a fop is, right? We're just going to school on 17th century English. I don't understand half these words either. Stay with me here. Dandies were men who placed particular importance upon physical appearance, refined language, and leisure hobbies. So basically these are the men who look really good. They worry about their hair, they worry about their clothes, but they can't really do much of anything else. So that's what a dandy is. So that now you can see how calling someone a Yankee Doodle Dandy is, you know, it's kind of an insult, but obviously it's been, you know, it's been lost in history. So taking a step further, a self-made dandy was a British middle-class man who impersonated an aristocratic lifestyle. Okay, this is faking it till you make it type. So they notably wore silk strip cloth, stuck feathers in their hats, and carried 2 pocket watches with chains. One to tell what time it was, and the other to tell what time it was not. This sounds like a British, I'm not gonna say the word, boy. Like, you already have the mental picture in your head. It's funny how, you know, in history, there is always a type. Okay, so this was that type. Today we'd call them F boys, but back then it was a dandy. Someone else said, I've heard that more from people in the South than from Brits. Yeah, I've never actually heard a British person say that. Ooh, so this one's good. Sweaty little colonials. Overheard this in a pub with a literal British landlord, and it was hard to keep from laughing. Okay, that one was actually good. And taking a step further, I feel like the average height for most Americans is a little lower than what I saw. Okay, we're talking about British right now, people. So compared to the general population in Britain, I felt like they were slightly taller, and sometimes a lot taller than what I usually see in the US. So a sweaty little colonial. Now the sweaty part, I don't know if he's trying to call us fat, because if you have more weight, you tend to sweat a little more. But moving along, moving along. Imagine if they said that to someone from India or Africa. Quickest way to get your beat. Okay. So this one we've all heard. I always find it weird when people make fun of Americans for being so friendly to strangers and smiling on the street. Yeah, we really can't help but smile. I'm so sorry. Like, clearly they haven't tried to stop walking in the middle of an NYC sidewalk. All that American jolliness goes right out the window. Also, of all the things to make fun of this country for, that's petty. Also, when they say American travelers don't dress up when they visit other countries, specifically during international flights, I'm not sure what the security is for other countries, but the last time I flew to Vegas, the underwire to my bra went off 5 times. I'm not trying to look like a model at the expense of efficiency. Ooh. she let it all out. Yeah, so the airport clothing, but the clothing in general is just going to be so much more relaxed in the US. So I get the whole Americans can't dress part. I get that bit. Also, a lot of our clothing isn't always the best material, but I've heard of other people in other countries, you know, complain about their clothing, you know, getting a hole in it or like stretching out after like just a couple of washes in other countries like Germany as well. So I don't want to completely say it's like it's all of our clothing here, but yeah, the whole looking like a bum or looking really relaxed and not dressing up, it definitely is, I guess, you get praised for it. It's kind of like the people who will buy, you know, $100 shirt that looks like it's old and tattered and worn. It's just kind of, I'm too cool to care type mentality. It's just, I don't know, it's just a style here. I don't know why. It is what it is. But the whole nice thing, yes. And so it's funny because the further north you go, well, I will say Midwest, okay? So if you go Midwest and even all the way up to the top, as far north as you can go before getting to Canada, those people are a certain type of nice. Like, that is a completely different nice. You think that we're all smiley and, you know, we're good-natured. Now, like, if you go to that area, they are like, they will give you the shirt off their back. Like, they are very, very kind people. And I don't know, it's called Midwest nice. Maybe one video will go into it, but those people are extraordinarily friendly. Another person said they heard the term a merry-mutt. So, I mean, someone said it has some interesting connotations. It tells you everything the person believes in when it comes to race and interracial relationships. Yeah, I mean, sorry. So my neighbor's pulling up. Someone else said, it's funny because I've been told countless times that Europe is the most progressive and least racist place on earth, and have had Europeans tell me in person that I'm a racist simply because I was born in the US. You know, it just depends on who you're talking to. So one person said, one time a French dude approached me in a parking lot here in the US to tell me that the homeless people in the area were all gypsies and not to be trusted. He also seemed to think that they were trying to infect everyone with AIDS. Weird encounter. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as the whole racist thing goes, that's something you're gonna encounter in any country. Don't really think it's just one area. I've noticed this in just other countries, and it's just, it doesn't matter where you are. It's even among people who aren't necessarily even a different color. They can just be from a different area in that country, and people, so I guess you can't call it racist, but people will just not be as kind to them. We'll just say that. But they just won't be as kind because of what part of the country you are from. So the whole prejudice thing, I mean, it's just, that's a part of human nature. We kind of just have to get over it. Sorry. I once dated a Russian woman and she had some strange ideas about gypsies. All very racist, of course, but she wholeheartedly believed they stole babies. She didn't think she was racist, but very much hated Roma. I've noticed that with British people. They do not care for gypsies. Oh no. So this one is good, and I think a lot of Americans can relate to this one. Personally, I've lived out of the US for a decade, and if anyone makes a dig about me being American, I fully understand it as their own personal issue, insecurity, ignorance, misplaced defensiveness against the monolithic idea of what the US represents to them, and not a reflection on me. The US, this big symbolic entity for a lot of people who may feel as if they know the country through its cultural exports despite not having lived or traveled there. In a situation where my hypothetical nationality being evoked was indicative of a more specific underlying xenophobia or racism, I'm sure I would feel differently, but in the case of the US, I think our national identity is too broad and varied for me to be offended. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, it's so hard to like put all of Americans under the same umbrella. I thought this would be a good video just because with everything going on in the world with the virus, Americans are really coming under fire because of the way it's been handled and our attitude towards it. So it's like, if you thought people did not like Americans prior, oh gosh, 2020 really kind of like stoked the flames. Me being in Florida right now, it's you know, Florida, it really isn't a part of the United States. It's a lot like traveling to Texas. It's not a part of the US. Like, it's very much in a bubble, and it always has been in a bubble, from the way the people are to, you know, the food, the mentality, I guess. So they're American, but it's a very different kind of American. So with how the virus has been handled here, we are very much living like there is no virus. Like, I think I just read there was an actor who had traveled here, and he said that he either got on the next plane out, or he actually got a rental car and drove all the way out of Florida, because he said it was like no one cared about COVID. Everyone was, you know, not social distancing. They were very close to each other. Some people weren't wearing masks. He said, I didn't feel safe, and he got out of here really, really quickly. I'm talking about specifically Florida, because, you know, other states aren't as open as we are. We are fully open. I think our bars and our clubs have been open since maybe spring of last year, and so they're, you know, they're fully open. There are some places where you can go and you have the choice of whether you'd like to wear a mask or not. Not a whole lot, like there's only a couple, you know, but for the most part everyone's wearing their mask and doing that stuff. Now, social distancing, it depends on what area you are in. You know, the larger cities, I can only speak for larger cities, I can't really speak for the smaller ones, but sometimes I have to forget myself that just how comfortable we are here, for other people, it could be seen as just they don't care, or, you know, it could definitely be something else for us to be attacked for. And you know, I even have people in Germany who are telling me that like they haven't had a haircut in months, or they're going crazy from working at home, and a lot of people are having issues with their mental health. One of my girlfriends, she actually put on some weight, and so, you know, she was like, well, my husband is out of town a lot for work, and you know, it's just her and her kids. And she's told me that in Germany it is against the law to like congregate with other people. Like, you're actually breaking a law, and they just take it very seriously. And so, you know, she's put on some quarantine pounds, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I think it's definitely taking its toll on a lot of people. And yeah, so sadly, with how Floridians are treating this and how everyone else, even within our own country, you know, there definitely is like a lot of division. And so yeah, I have some, I'll say just broad, not specifically German, but some European friends who think it's cool that Florida is so open right now, and then, you know, others who are just like horrified. Okay, so I've definitely never come across this. So basically, the person is saying that a German insult for us, he said that word, which means chewing gum eaters, and one of them, it slipped once when I was around. To think I would take offense from that was laughable. Yeah, I don't really get it. So maybe it's because we chew a lot of gum, Or, okay, to me, my first thought was, okay, maybe that's an insult because some of us will chew with our mouths open, right? So like smacking your lips, I don't know. I'm reaching here. I don't know. I'd like to think one American went to Germany and was caught swallowing gum, and that's how we got this name. Sounds like the 90s need a word with their insults, or maybe likely the 80s. Yeah, I don't get that one. If anyone can explain why that is an insult, or no, how is it an insult? Is it because we chew loudly, or is it because we always have gum? That's the question of the day. It was nice talking to you guys again, and hopefully it wasn't too loud outside. It's just a really, really pretty day, so I wanted to do it on the porch, and I'll see you guys in my next video.